And listen to me closely. I'm all the time like, oh, I want love like my parents. Like, my family hears me say it, my friends hear me say it, but I am genuinely not in a rush. You guys know my dad's always like, wait until you're 30. Like, there's no rush. And I don't think that my grandma or my mom are like, oh, you have to be with someone now. I just think they want me to be happy, and they know like I'm a relationship girly. PSA though, to all moms, I'm good. We're good. I'm 26. I got a life to live, and that person's gonna come into my life at some point. I appreciate the help.
10 years later.
Okay, so when it comes to the patriarchy and misogynists, this group is public enemy number one, and I could not for the life of me figure out why, but then when it hit me, I was just like, oh, of course. Single moms are a threat to the patriarchy and misogynists because they're the matriarchy, or at least that's what they represent. Single moms are proof that women are natural leaders. So much so that people don't even acknowledge when women are leading their families because it's expected. Meanwhile, people are throwing parades for men for being seen in public with their family.
Gentlemen, welcome back. Glad to have you here with me and with Ampu. Let's get started with this video, guys, and if you have any thoughts, make sure to leave them in the comments.
I guess I'm just at that age where like all the women in my family are like, you're the only single daughter left, like you're up for grabs, we're on the hunt for you. And listen to me closely. I'm all the time like, oh, I want love like my parents. Like, my family hears me say it, my friends hear me say it, but I am genuinely not in a rush. You guys know my dad's always like, wait until you're 30. Like, there's no rush. Yeah, I woke up to 2.
What a loser, honestly. You're a father and you're telling your daughter to not marry until 30? Damn, what a loser.
Different messages this morning, one being from my mom and one being from my grandma, who lives all the way in Delaware. What am I gonna do with a man in Delaware? My mom went to my sister's yoga class and pretty much was like, there's this really cute guy here, Kira. I'm gonna get his Instagram for you and send it to you. I'm like, okay, mom, cool. Like, she's like, he might want to move to Brooklyn, so that would be a little hard, but you know. And then my grandma, who like I said lives all the way in Delaware, was at the grocery store, saw this guy in like the produce section. Let him get his groceries, grandma. But no, she walks up to him and it's like, I have a granddaughter that lives in California and I just think you guys would be so cute together. Grandma, please. Like, what am I gonna do with the man in Delaware? Is he gonna move out here? What does he do for a living? What is his credit score? Is he a serial killer? Like, I don't know what you don't know. He's a random man on the street. And I don't think that my grandma or my mom are like, oh, you have to be with someone now. I just think they want me to be happy, and they know like I'm a relationship girly. PSA though, to all moms, I'm good. We're
You know, guys, she was about to say that she's 26 and there is no rush. I gotta tell you, I'm 23, and that of course means that I'm 4023, you know. But the other day, a few days back, I received a call from my grandmother, and she basically told me like, when are you going to get married? You know, you're already 23, don't wait for it, etc. And you gotta understand, like, people in the past, there was no starting to date at 25. There was no I'm 35 looking for a relationship, all right? Women in the past, if they were over 30 and they were not even younger, but let's say 30, and they were not in a committed relationship, they could already like sign off a paper that they're gonna be passing away alone. And this is something that Taylor mentions, that in China, women over, what was it, 30 were called like leftovers. You know, guys, like all this culture that you've maybe grown into, you know, that women start to date seriously, that is, at like 27, 28, you know, when that biological clock starts ticking. Never seen in history before. Literally never. Alright, so you can't... okay, you can change a culture. That's what feminism has been doing. But what you can't change is nature. You can't change biology. You can date 1,000 men, you can date whatever group of men you want, but you're not going to change the fact that at a certain age you're going to be stopped being fertile and your looks will start to fade, and you know, probably people are not going to be that interested in you. This woman, guys, you can see she's really, I wouldn't say bossy, but she's like you know, self-assured. She has this sort of arrogance because she's young, she's pretty, she has a lot of men following around her tail, you know, and she knows that at any moment she can pull like 10 of them. And they think, guys, they think that they will be able to do that throughout their whole life. This is why they are so shocked. I often do titles of woman over 30 is shocked, you know, astonished, you know, because they really are shocked that for 30 years they've been able to do whatever they want. You know, it's like playing God mode, but at a certain point, you know, they suddenly try to do it and it doesn't work, and so they are in shock. And it's gonna happen the same with this woman, all right? Women who have this mindset of I'm good, I'm 26, it's all right, you know, I'm good, I'm fine. It always ends bad, right? It always ends bad. Why do you have to wait? You know, guys, I'm gonna tell something else and then we're gonna continue the video. But I remember I was with a group of friends and we were talking, and like 2 people were discussing, and one of them said, I don't want to get married yet, even though I have a girlfriend and I love her, because, you know, I'm still young, I still want to grow and learn more about myself, etc., etc. And the other person told him, if you love that girl, if you truly love her, why do you have to wait? If you know that you love her and she loves you back, why don't learn about yourself while you are with her? Why do you have to wait for everything to be settled? And I really like that idea. Like, if you find that person, and that of course takes, you know, being a traditional man, finding a traditional woman, going through a courtship period where you get to know each other, where you know there's no red flags, where you know the green, the light is green, you know, it takes a certain period. And I'm not telling you to get married tomorrow. But the thing is, if you are already with that person who you found and you love her, love him, why do you have to wait any longer? Why don't you do all the things that you plan to do before getting married after you get married, you know? What is the big deal? But of course, guys, these women, again, it's not about being 26 and she has a really serious relationship and she's like, yeah, let's wait for another year. No, guys, she doesn't know anyone. She's dating around. She's having her relationships. Maybe, you know, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she's not hooking up around, which is even worse. But still, what are you waiting for? You know, it's not like these people have a boyfriend and they are engaged and they say, you know, let's postpone the marriage for another year. No, guys, they're not doing anything. They're just living their best lives, going to clubs, you know, hee hee ha ha, just having their fun. And then suddenly, because they want to have their cake and eat it too, suddenly when they get to 32 and they can't find a man, then we'll have the eternal question, where have all the good men gone? But now let's continue with the video, guys.
I'm 26. I got a life to live, and that person's gonna come into my life at some point. I appreciate the help. I'll never say.
Notice again the passive tone, right? That person is gonna come into my life, because you see, that's how dating works, guys. If you don't have a girlfriend and you want one, just wait around, just lay in bed. She's gonna eventually drop around. No, it doesn't work that way. You don't suddenly find the person. Like, notice how entitled they are. They think that they're God's gift to the earth, that God himself will benefit them with all the privileges that life has to offer. It doesn't work that way. You have to work for things. You don't have to work for hookups. You, as a woman, you are entitled to that. Literally, there's 1,000 guys willing to, you know, shake you up every second of the day. That's one thing. But when it comes to serious relationships, you have to put in the work. You have to get to know someone, to see if you're compatible, to, I don't know, live a while together, learn about each other, etc. You're not gonna find that person. That person is not waiting there for you. The universe will not give him to you. Like, damn, what a bad mindset, gentlemen.
No to the help, honestly, because it's hard out here. But, yo, anyone else having this in their lives?
Would never ask. Okay, so when it comes to the patriarchy and misogynists, this group is public enemy number 1.
She's talking about us, guys.
and I could not for the life of me figure out why. But then when it hit me, I was just like, oh, of course. Single moms are a threat to the patriarchy and misogynist because they're the matriarchy, or at least that's what they represent. Single moms are proof that women are natural leaders, so much so that people don't even acknowledge when women are leading their families because it's expected. Meanwhile, people are throwing parades for men for being seen in public with their family. And this
Okay. Single mothers are not leaders, first off. They're literally in a situation where they have no other option. I don't think that the 2-year-old baby will be the leader of the family, right? I mean, kicking the father and then calling yourself a leader, not necessarily a leader, you know. You're a one-person team. The baby or child doesn't count. His family, but he doesn't count as part of the family that is going to make decisions or provide. You're not a leader when you're in a one-person group. You know what I mean? What is this bullcrap? Guys. But let's continue, guys. Let's learn more about the patriarchy.
is not to say that men are not capable of leading their families, but it is to say that for many of us, it's a pleasant surprise when we see it. Like, it is literally grounds for celebration. And that's bad. That's bad for men, too. I mean, that's embarrassing. And this is one of the reasons that single moms are a threat. In the absence of her child's father, a single mom is supposed to just wither away and die, or as some would call it, take accountability. But instead, she chooses to stay alive and to actually raise her children. She did what a leader does and stayed and handled her responsibilities and protected and provided for her children.
She stayed. Interesting words to choose, gentlemen. If you kick someone out of the family, would you say that you have stayed in that family? You haven't stayed. You have just removed the other person. That's not staying. Staying is if you were to stay in that marriage for the benefit of the children or trying to make it work, you know? You don't get to stay in a relationship just because you remove the other person.
And she had the nerve to do it in a patriarchal society that does not take care of the widow or the fatherless child. And in case you didn't catch that, that was a biblical reference. So vulnerable women.
Yeah, so in the Bible it said that, you know, you must protect the widow. Let me tell you, lady, you probably don't know, but the vast majority of single mothers are not widows. They are making the decision to kick the father out of the family, to get a bunch of alimony and money and assets, and to try and find the next best thing, which usually doesn't work. That is not a widow. You know, protect the widow. Absolutely agree. All the gentlemen here are willing to protect the widow and help women in need, or, you know, sympathize with them the least. But a person who gets rid of the paternal figure that the child needs just for her, you know, thinking about her own behind and being self-absorbed, that is not a person that we are going to sympathize with. And it just so happens that most single mothers are not widows at all.
Women and children are being failed at every single level by male leadership, and single moms are still able to actually survive and even thrive in some cases, and this is minimized in an attempt to make it look like our society is doing a good job of taking care of women and children, and it is not. Also, if people gave single moms credit for what they are able to accomplish in a world that is in opposition to their survival, they might start questioning what women are able to accomplish as leaders in.
Wait, sorry guys, it's too much feminism. I lost track. I'll unwind it 10 seconds. She said something that sounded absurd, but I didn't understand it fully.
A good job of taking care of women and children, and it is not. Also, if people gave single moms credit for what they are able to accomplish in a world that is in opposition to their survival, they might start questioning what women are able to accomplish as leaders.
A world that is in opposition to single mothers' survival. It always surprises me. It always surprises me, guys, how feminism is somehow still managing to make women as the victims, even though they are the most privileged group of people who have ever walked the face of Earth. Maybe, probably, you know, beneath the LGBTIQ barbecue, but still. Women, especially when it comes to child custody, alimony, you know, all the rights what was it called, the the ability to divorce without needing a reason for it is just, it's all so easy, guys. They have the societal approval, they have society's sympathies. Nobody cares, nobody gives a damn about men other than your two homies. All right, it's, what do you mean a world in a position? It's literally benefiting them in so many ways, and this is why divorces are at such high rates, because it's beneficial. You get a divorce as a woman and you get a full package of benefits from the government, which, well, from the government, from the man, of course. The government is not paying crap, like, what are we talking about, guys?
In a world that is not stacked against us. Whether a single mom is a good mom or a bad mom, she is leading. For better or for worse, she is in the arena. She's a gladiator fighting a bear, or she's the captain going down with the ship. She has to do the job that nobody wants to do, answer the questions that nobody wants to answer.
No, wait a minute. Men want to do that job. The men that women kick out of the family, they're willing to do the job. They're willing to stay with their children. They're willing to provide for that family. Guys, men are not the ones who want to leave off the marriage. Men are not the ones who want to just, turn their back to their kids. No, it does happen, of course. There are some a-holes around there, but it's not the majority. Like, again, I don't know the exact numbers. You can check it if you want in Google, but check what percentage of women, of single mothers, are widows. I'm guessing it's probably less than 10, probably 5 even, I don't know.
And do the things. Just, it's thankless. Being a mom is a thankless job, but thankless is also synonymous usually with leader. But we live in a world where we glorify the absentee father. I mean, this kind of,
literally nobody is doing that. Like, not a single soul on planet Earth is doing that. But all right, now, guys, I should stop waiting for her to make a rational statement, logical statement.
thinking is so embedded in our psyche that many of us base our belief of God on this. I mean, I hate to break it to some of y'all, but he's not coming back. He's not coming back. Meanwhile, Mother Earth is right here providing for us and protecting us from outer space. And I mean, we can see her, we can touch her. And what are we doing? We're killing her. We got to literally beg our politicians, please don't kill mom. And I mean, the symbolism is right here. Either way, single moms are leaders and they are given a hard time because we are supposed to look at them as failures. But if we really actually looked at them for who they are and what they're doing, it would be a direct reflection of the fact that what we consider leadership is actually just pageantry. And as Cat Williams would put it, a Chrysler 300 looks like a phantom until a phantom shows up. And that is the threat that single moms present. So yeah, single moms exemplify leadership, and it is not always pretty, but it's something, goddammit. So, give them some respect. And to the single moms out there, thank you. I hope, I covered everything. If I didn't, put whatever I didn't cover in the comments. And if you like this video, please give me $1. Link in my bio.
Yeah, so if anyone is interested in giving her $1, man, so many bullcrap said about God, about planet Earth, about Chryslers. I don't know where to start, but let's forget about it. The thing is, a feminist will turn the world upside down just to make herself appear as the victim. Even though they're getting so many benefits, they're still the victim somehow, guys. And patriarchy still exists.
Down with the patriarchy. That's the message.
Even though men are, being a white man is literally the worst ethnicity and group that you can be on planet Earth right now, which I happen to be white, so you see, I'm not privileged at all. You can blame my parents for it. But guys, calling a single mother a leader just makes me want to vomit. It's disgusting, gentlemen. And of course, again, I'm not talking about widows, I'm talking about single mothers who in most of the cases made like 200 wrong decisions one after the other. They first were probably messing around, having a lot of hookups, doing fatherless behavior, which then resulted into them picking a bad partner, selecting a bad partner to marry or have a serious relationship to. Then they probably had a pretty bad marriage in which they should have some accountability for the bad things that happened. Then they decided to keep Kim out because Betty down the street got divorced and then got a bunch of money, and you know, she's living her best life right now, going to clubs, you know, and then she gets the child, she gets the money, she gets the assets, and she can try her luck again. It's a series of bad decisions. It's not being a leader, it's the total opposite. It's dragging your kid's future down. You call that leadership?
Pathetic.
I think I got this down to a science now. Mind you, take this with a grain of salt. I have a Venus in Aries. I'm the fuck around and find out type. Rule number 1 to building your roster. Plus, given that you should already have some self-care time scheduled into your week, I find at least one day a week where I'm going to be away from my child. I'm gonna find childcare. If you can finesse free childcare, I love that for you. If not, budget for it. It's so important. Think of it like a bill. It's how we get things done around here. You're gonna go out alone. I know that sounds crazy. It's the last thing that you want to do. Trust me. And you're gonna stay in your bag. That's your manic pixie dream girl time. That's just your time to be yourself. Away from your kid. And you're gonna pull all those bitches that you pulled, that you've been pulling. But here's the secret. Pull numbers only. Numbers only. Do not take anybody. Don't go anywhere with anybody. Numbers only. You have an early morning. Go out early, like 6 to 10 p.m. The step number...
Let me ask you this question, gentlemen. Do you think that this single mother is a widow or a single mother by choice? Think about that. You know, the other woman, the previous woman, was calling assuming that all single mothers are widows, and they are leaders, they are strong, they are fighters, they're gladiators, fighting bears, you know, just this really strong character. Do you think that this woman right here is a widow? And I leave you with that thought, gentlemen. Thank you for watching this hilarious and at the same time vomit-inducing video. Please leave me your thoughts down in the comments, and I'll be really happy to see you next time. Have a good one.